Hi, everyone. Welcome to Facebook Live, Wacky Wednesday with Hop. My name is Kelly, and I'm from the Boston Hop team. Some of you might recognize me from camp or from different hospitals around the Boston area. Typically, I would be there hanging out with you all, but today I get to do some fun crafting remotely and virtually with wherever you are in the world. So I'm super excited for you all to be joining today. We will be doing some tie-dyeing and something new that I've found called reverse tie-dyeing, which is using some like a bleach mixture with water to pull color out of your shirt. So you could see this is one that I had made a little bit earlier. And so it just like pulls the color in kind of like a tie-dye pattern. So if you have some old t-shirts laying around, some t-shirts that you want to kind of customize and make your own, this is a totally great option for ways to kind of spice up your shirts. So I have some that I had done earlier, and one is the bleach tie-dye, and then, or reverse tie-dye, and then one is the regular like classic tie-dye, super colorful. And I will unveil these so we could kind of see where we're going. And then I have two new shirts, so we could kind of go through the process together. So the first one that I'm gonna unveil is the reverse tie-dyeing t-shirt, the bleach one. So we'll take off the rubber bands. And I'm gonna open this up, let's see. Oh, cool, I'm gonna hold this up so you guys can see it a little bit better. So this is a camp day shirt actually from at Boston Hop. We do an event at some of our hospitals called Camp Days, one of our favorites of the year. And so this is kind of how it came out. And then after this, I'm gonna rinse this off in my sink to get any extra bleach out and then put it in the washing machine so that it could be like washed out fully. This came out cool. I like this. So I only put a little bit of bleach on that one. So maybe on my next shirt, I'll do like a little bit more. We'll see how it comes out. And then the classic tie-dye that I did earlier. This is, I think, like the spiral technique, but I kind of threw the colors everywhere. So it might come out just like a rainbow. Tie-dye is fun because no matter how much you plan it, it kind of has a mind of its own and does its own thing. Oh, so cool. I'm gonna hold it up so you guys can see it. This actually, I feel like it's very colorful, but it did come out to be like kind of a spiral. Pretty cool. I'm excited. And so I have today, this is, you can kind of see the camp logo too. One of my old camp shirts. So this also, once you're done with tie-dye, you can rinse it out in your sinks. Same with the reverse tie-dye, the bleach ones, and then put it in the washing machine. Make sure you wash this kind of stuff alone though. This way it doesn't accidentally tie-dye the rest of your wardrobe. So today, together we will be doing another camp shirt that I have. We'll do the bleaching for this one, and then we will do some more classic tie-dye spirals on the logo. So I think first we'll do the bleaching. And so I'm gonna take my shirt, lay it nice and flat. I'm gonna actually move these ones over. All right. So lay our shirt nice and flat. And then for the bleaching, there's no real like rhyme or reason to it, but you can do like the classic spiral or any of like the tie-dyeing techniques that you might know. I know that there's like a bunch of different ones, different like ways to tie-dye. So you can always experiment with those. But for this one, I'm gonna just do like a scrunch. This way it comes out kind of like textured in the same way that this one did. It kind of looks, it reminds me of like galaxy kind of like prints. So I'm gonna bunch this all up. And then I'm gonna take my rubber bands and just secure it nice and tight. Same that you would for a classic tie-dye. I'm gonna rebunch this part that kind of came open. If anyone has tried this before and has any like tips for everyone else that is watching, you could feel free to throw them in the comments, because I'm definitely not a professional at this, but I've been like just experimenting a little bit. So if you have any tips or techniques that you think work really well when it comes to tie-dyeing, or maybe reverse tie-dyeing if you've done it before, feel free to throw that in the comments. Let us know. All right, so I'm gonna do this tight once more. And then I have a bucket of just a little bit of water. I'm gonna tuck my extras in. Emma Huntington, you have some rainbow sheets I'm hearing about. That's kind of cool though. A happy accident, as Bob Ross would say. Okay, so we have our shirt nice and secure. I'm gonna try and just tuck this sleeve in. There we go. And then in the bucket of water, I'm gonna just dip this in to get the shirt like just a little bit damp. This way it absorbs the bleach the same that I do. I find that this works with tie-dye as well. This way it absorbs it a little bit better, and like the bleach won't just roll right off. So I have used for this also, I've used some just like standard water bottles, because I didn't have like the fancy tie-dyeing bottles at home. And so in this bottle, I put like half bleach and half water. So for those of you watching, if you have like an adult or someone wherever you are to help you with handling the bleach, it gets really stinky and it can stain, as with the tie-dye as well. It can stain kind of anything that you touch. So highly recommend rubber gloves. Highly recommend a little bit of help preparing this, but this is half bleach and half water. And so I shook it up in my water bottle a little bit earlier, and then I poked some holes in the top as well. So it makes kind of like a DIY squirt bottle. And then over my bucket, I'm gonna just go ahead and squirt this out. And I'm gonna really soak the whole top half. Spray as much as possible. Hi to Shannon's kitten. So cute, we love animal friends. So we'll really drench this, and then I'm gonna flip it over, start doing the back side. My water bottle is pretty crinkly. And I've never done a maroon shirt like this, so we'll have to see on the black shirts and some of the like gray ones that I've done, you can notice right away that where it gets like the whitest, it starts turning like a little bit orange. It kind of goes through like a whole phase of changing colors. So we might be able to see that, but I'm not really sure how it will go with the maroon. So we'll experiment and see. I hear that Audrey has a tip for all of us, that if you mark your water bottles with what colors they are, it'll keep you from accidentally swapping them, which is such a good tip. And it actually took me a few minutes to think of that this morning when I was filling up my water bottles, but I did end up labeling them. It's super helpful because a lot of the colors look really similar. It's hard to tell which one is which. They all look like pretty dark when they're just in their bottles. So great tip, thank you for that. So I'm gonna squeeze this, make sure that some of the bleach is like going to the inside, and then I'm gonna just keep squirting. Really soak it. And then once I'm done with this, I have some big Ziploc bags that I'm gonna just toss my shirt in, seal it up. It gets pretty stinky, this bleach, so I'm gonna just lock it away in a plastic bag for about like 2 hours maybe. But I definitely recommend like just keeping an eye on it, because you can see how much the shirt changes. The bleach is cool because you could like see it being absorbed, and you could see like the colors changing. So once you see that it's as light as you want it to be, that's when you would take it out and rinse it. So it's kind of like a waiting game. And I guess probably all different textures and types of material change differently, or different colors and stuff. So it's worth keeping an eye on. All right. Cool. So it feels pretty heavy, which is always the way that I can tell that the material has absorbed as much like liquid as possible, is when this starts to feel like kind of a heavy brick. So I'm gonna put this in its Ziploc bag for now. And if it doesn't look like it's changing, I might come back to it and add some more bleach on it, but we'll put it to the side and see if it starts to change noticeably by just looking at it. So I'm gonna put this in its giant Ziploc, seal this up. And then we'll come back and check in on this maroon shirt in a little bit. But in the meantime, we can prepare our next tie-dye, our classic tie-dye. And so while I'm preparing, I'm gonna plan to do the original like tie-dye spiral, similar to the one that I unwrapped and showed all of you in the beginning. I have my nice little camp shirt. So to do the classic spiral, I always pinch the middle and then just twist it. And I like to press it flat against the table. This way it stays kind of in like a big circle all together. It makes kind of like a pinwheel. And then tuck the sleeves. And then I always find that this is definitely a little bit easier to do when you have a friend who can do like second hands for you. If you hold it securely and someone else helps do the rubber bands, highly recommend. But otherwise you could totally do it yourself too. But we'll wrap these up. I'm gonna just kind of unfold this a little bit so we could see our spiral in the middle. And then I like to make like pizza slices out of the rubber bands. So in that circle that you saw in the beginning, I'm gonna crisscross my rubber bands over one another. So right now I kind of have them making like a plus sign on my circle. And then I'm gonna do 2 more diagonal across each of those, making like another X. Nina, I hear you're gonna do this on a bunch of white masks. That's such a good idea. I love that. All right, so we are gonna do just 1 more little pizza slice. All right. Cool. So now it kind of just looks like a big ball of a t-shirt. We'll pull back our little tub of water. And so while I'm dipping the t-shirt in, kind of how I did before with the bleached one, if any of you have a favorite color that you think should be on this tie-dye shirt, you can feel free to suggest it in the comments. To let you all know the colors that I do have, I have all of the unit colors at camp. So green, purple, red, yellow, and blue. So maybe if you have a favorite unit color or favorite cabin, you could let me know. I'm definitely gonna end, I think I'll probably use all of them because I personally love all of the cabins at camp. It's hard to pick a favorite. But sometimes it's hard to figure out where to start. All right, so I'm gonna squeeze out the water. My shirt is nice and damp. Mariah, I hear that you would like some green on this t-shirt, so I'm gonna start with that. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and squirt this. And maybe for this one, I might try and keep the colors concentrated in like a small area. They definitely are already starting to like just jump out of their pizza slice, but I might try and keep this section to be like mostly green, and then we'll make our way around. Audrey, I heard some blue next. And then I think I also heard rainbow as a recommendation, which I think is where we're heading. And then definitely a tip for tie-dye. My t-shirt is wrapped super, super tight. So it's helpful to kind of peel open, and then you could see like all this white is like hiding on the inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that peeled open and squirt some more blue or some more colors in those like white spots, just because I want my shirt to be like as colorful as possible. But if you want your shirt to have like more white in it, which sometimes helps the spiral to be a little bit more defined, that's a great option also. I think Michelle wants purple. So I'm gonna do some purple. Again, I'm gonna squeeze, like peel this open and really try and squirt some in that white that's hiding on the inside. And then my friend Jeremy loves red. Me too, Jeremy. I'm gonna put some red in there. It's fun to see how the colors like mix with one another. So I don't know if you can see this, but the red and the purple mixed and they're making like a really, really cool fuchsia kind of color. I'm into it. Our rainbow is coming alive. All right, so far we've used green, we've used purple, we've used blue, we've used red. I have one more color that we haven't used yet. Does anyone know what last unit we haven't used? I'll give you a hint that it's the color of the sun. Yellow, ring, ring. We have the yellow unit coming in hot to finish up our tie-dye shirt. And so there's not a ton of like white space left on the outside, but I'm gonna peel open again this like inside end. Look at all this white that's available for our yellow. So I'm gonna really like put it in all of the little cracks of the shirt and all like these small areas on the inside. And get some yellow in there. This way it doesn't fully mix with all the colors. It will have some like solid yellow eventually when I open up this shirt later on. Let's see some more. Looking good so far. Let's see. We have a little bit more white hiding all the way on the inside here. I'm gonna squeeze some yellow. And then I might add a little bit more red on some of this white because it looks like a lot of it mixed with the purple. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the yellow and really get it in the crevices of like where the white was. This way I could have some solid red. So I think later on, Nina had a great question about when we get to see and reveal the finished product. I think later on when I do open this up, I'm gonna let it sit and absorb for maybe like a few hours, say like at least like 3 or 4 hours. And then later on when I do unravel it, I will definitely take a picture and post it in the comments. This way everyone can see the shirt that we kind of all created together. So a picture will be coming for sure. And if you all tie-dye one of your old camp shirts, or if you tie-dye any other t-shirt that you have, definitely post a picture of it, show us. If you have any like really cool techniques, I've seen some friends do like the heart-shaped tie-dye. I've seen peace signs, which like are just so advanced. I feel like I'm not really quite there yet in my tie-dye game, but there's endless options. So let me know, send us a pic if you do a cool tie-dye after this. All right, my friends, so looking in all of the little crevices, I don't see a lot of white left. So I think that this shirt might be done as well. So it also is feeling like pretty heavy, which I feel like is the test of if it's absorbed a lot of tie-dye or not. So I'm gonna put this in our bag, zip this up, And then coming back to this bleached one, let's see. I'm gonna just take this out and peek on it really quick. So, although it doesn't look like it changed a ton yet, this was a very, very, very dark shirt at first, so it lightened up a tiny bit. I might, though, just pour a little bit more bleach on. And I'm gonna actually take the cap off carefully and just like pour lightly a little bit more bleach and really like squeeze it in just on the outside edges so that if possible, it helps it really lighten up certain areas a little bit brighter. All right, let's see. Do a little bit more. Awesome. Yeah, this feels solid now. Cool. So I'm gonna let these sit for a few hours and then I will definitely post a picture for everyone to see how these came out after they are unraveled and revealed later on. So let me know if you do any tie-dye of your own. I would love to see it. And I will definitely be checking back in on some of the comments and posts afterwards. But in the meantime, that is all from me. I hope that you enjoy tie-dyeing. I feel like it's one of my favorite summer activities. I love to do it at camp. So hopefully this helps to bring a little bit more of camp to wherever you are in the world. So thank you all for joining. Again, I'm Kelly from Boston Hop, and it was super fun to get to hang out with you all today. So I'll see you next time.